At first, Adventure Time was just Finn and Jake going on random goofy adventures, but then these 5 episodes came out and transformed it into a story-driven masterpiece with lore that goes deeper than the Mariana Trench, changing the show forever. If you've ever rewatched season 1 and most of season 2 of Adventure Time, you would quickly realize that the episodes weren't that deep. They really just thrived on simplicity, where each story wrapped up neatly by the end. And sure, the land of Ooo was weird and fascinating, but it didn't seem like the kind of place hiding a deeper story. It was kind of just a sandbox for Finn and Jake's adventures, not a world with stakes or history. But then, as season 2 was airing, something started to happen. These light-hearted adventures started blending with moments of mystery and honestly some real emotional depth. The show was kind of preparing us for something way bigger without us even realizing it. It was sneaky, it was deliberate, and it worked. The episode Mortal Folly came out and changed the game forever. Now, you could technically debate that there were earlier episodes that introduced deep lore, but I feel like this was the first time that it was really deliberate. This episode introduces the Lich, the ultimate villain of the series, and immediately raises the stakes in a way no other episode had done before. And for the first time, Finn and Jake weren't just out to solve a weird problem or help a friend. They're tasked with saving the entire land of Ooo. Not just about what happens, it's how it feels. This episode really creates tension that pulls you in, all the way from Princess Bubblegum's ominous vision to the sheer terror of the Lich escaping. It's way darker, way heavier, and way more intense. This was the first episode that really laid the groundwork for Adventure Time's deep lore. Not only does it introduce the Lich, but we also start to see the world's post-apocalyptic past and its hidden dangers. The idea that Ooo isn't just this silly magical place, but a land shaped by ancient conflicts and powerful threats begins here. And just when you might think that it's all over, the episode leaves us with a shocking cliffhanger. Princess Bubblegum's fate hangs in the balance, and the Lich's defeat feels anything but certain. This leads us perfectly into the episode Mortal Recoil. Yes, Mortal Recoil and Mortal Folly is the first 2-part episode of Adventure Time, which I personally think makes it all the more deliberate that these 2 episodes were the crew's first real attempt at introducing some deep lore to the show. This was also the first time Adventure Time had a season-ending cliffhanger, a cliffhanger that would get resolved 6 episodes later in season 3, titled Too Young. But that's not the episode I want to talk about in season 3. We need to talk about Holly Jolly's Secrets Part 1 and 2, another 2-part episode. Now, remember how we talked about how Mortal Folly helped introduce some of the dark history behind the land of Ooo? Well, Holly Jolly's Secrets Part 1 and 2 dive way deeper into that. But first, these episodes actually revealed the dark history of someone else also. These episodes are so important because it gives us our first glimpse into the tragic backstory of the Ice King, revealing his past as Simon Petrikov. The tapes reveal that Simon wasn't always a strange, lonely wizard. He was once a normal, caring man who loved his fiancée, Betty, deeply, until the magical crown corrupted his mind and stole his identity. By the end of the second part, we don't just see Ice King as a villain or comic relief anymore. He's a deeply broken character, a victim of circumstances beyond his control, to a certain point. I mean, he did technically decide to put the crown on in the first place. And just when we thought we understood Ice King's tragedy, after Holly Jolly's Secrets, Adventure Time hits us with the episode I Remember You, an episode that deepens the lore and delivers one of the most emotional episodes in the entire series. However, the biggest reveal in the episode is that the Ice King, or Simon Petrikov, not only survived the fallout of the Mushroom War, but also had a deep connection to Marceline way back then. This twist ties together 2 major characters in a way that's both surprising and totally satisfying. In the flashback, we see Marceline as this scared little kid, wandering through a ruined, abandoned world. She looks completely alone until Simon steps in. And he doesn't just know her, he becomes her protector, a surrogate parental figure who puts her safety above his own while everything falls apart around them. This bond really just changes how we see both characters. For Marceline, it explains so much about her emotional depth and that sadness behind it. She's not just about music and mischief. Her story is rooted in those early days of loss and loneliness. And for Simon, it's a bittersweet reminder of who he was before the crown started messing with his head. And even as his mind slipped away, Simon cared so much for Marceline. He wrote her letters, kept her safe, and held on to their bond for as long as he possibly could. This episode also gives us even more of Oo's dark history. It's not just the Mushroom War anymore. It's the heartbreaking aftermath seen through the eyes of 2 people just trying to survive. Suddenly, this war isn't some abstract event in the past. It's this raw, emotional tragedy that shaped the world and these characters in a way that feels real and painful. Simon's letters turned lyrics reveals how much he knew he was losing himself and how he accepted all to keep Marceline safe. It's yet another gut punch in a series that somehow balances heartbreak and fun. Now, the very next episode, the episode titled The Lich, dives into some topics we've already touched on, most obviously the Lich himself. But what makes this episode stand out is that it takes things to a whole new level by introducing the concept of the multiverse, a concept so massive and foundational that it's almost impossible to overstate its impact on the series. This single idea not only changes the stakes of the show, but also reshapes our understanding of the entire Adventure Time world. Beyond that, the episode The Lich is a crucial setup for both Season 5 and Season 6, which are absolutely packed with lore. We're talking so much lore that trying to cover it all would be a gargantuan task. I mean, Season 5 alone introduces elements like Prismo, the Cosmic Owl's expanded role, and even more multiverse craziness, and Season 6, even more lore heavy, diving deep into the mythology of the Bin Sword, the Citadel, and the concept of reincarnation itself. If we really got into everything from those seasons, this video wouldn't just be long, it would probably be multiple hours long. That's how significant the episode The Lich is. It's the spark that sets off a chain reaction of storytelling that fundamentally changes what Adventure Time is and what it becomes. And that's not even close to all the lore in Adventure Time. In fact, there are some pretty heavy lore elements dropped in Season 8. More specifically, the character Patient St. Pim. There's a secret about her that connects the elemental forces, the Mushroom War, and the deepest lore of Ooh in ways most people never noticed. Watch the story of Patient St. Pim change Adventure Time forever right now to uncover the truth. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.